Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Reading from the book Sri Namamrta, the Nectar of the Holy Name, by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Continuing introduction, the last part of this. The Divine Dispensation. Apart from the holy name's importance as a means towards individual spiritual perfection, a reading of Vaishnava's literature reveals the holy name to possesses the broadest historical and universal significance as well. Chanting of the holy name is in fact described as an universal and supreme religion in the current epoch. An epoch refers to in traditional Indian texts as Kali Yuga, the age of Kali, the great iron age, an age of materialism, hypocrisy, and quarrel. Kali Yuga is the last of the four great ages, each progressively worse than its predecessor. Four vast epochs that cycle perpetually. The age of Kali is the age wherein human society degrades from human to subhuman, in which the people of the world forget their souls, identify with their gross bodies, and become mad competitors for the world's stock of material goods and pleasures. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, the unfortunate inhabitants of the Kali age are quarrelsome, lazy, misguided, unlucky, and above all, always disturbed. Because such unfortunate persons have little or no inclination towards spiritual advancement, there is a compelling need for a simple method by which they can wake up from their deathly slumber and receive the opportunity for spiritual emancipation. The great dispensation is the holy name, declares Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. In the age of Kali, the Lord Krishna has descended in the form of the holy name. The holy name is the one true glory, the one saving grace of this condemned age. As Sukadeva Goswami tells King Parikshit, although Kali Yuga is full of faults, there is still one good quality about this age. It is that simply by chanting the holy name of Krishna, one can become free from the material bondage and be promoted to the Transcendental Kingdom. Various means of spiritual advancement practiced in the previous eras are rendered virtually ineffectual in Kali by the degradation of human being, individually and collectively. The chanting of the holy name now supersedes all the other forms of spiritual discipline. Whatever results was obtained in Satya Yuga by meditating on Vishnu, in Treta Yuga by performing sacrifices, and in Dwapara Yuga by serving lotus feet, can also be obtained in Kali Yuga simply by chanting the holy name of the Lord. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 12, Chapter 3, Text 52. The primacy and exclusivity of the practice of the holy name is emphatically declared in this oft-cited verse from the Brihad Naradiya Purana. In this age of Kali, there is no alternative for spiritual progress but the holy name, the holy name, the holy name of the Lord. Thus, the chanting of the holy name of Lord in the Yuga is the Yuga Dharma. I'll repeat. Thus, the chanting of the holy name of the Lord is the Yuga Dharma, the universal and supreme religion of the age, meant to unite all faiths in common joyful glorification of one supreme Lord. Although the chanting of the holy name has played a role in India's religious history for millennia, it was specifically propagated and popularized as the Yuga Dharma by great Chaitanya, whose effulgent presence and fervid ecstatics drew millions into Nama Dharma, the religion of the name. As a great popularizer of the holy name, Sri Chaitanya was regarded and worshipped as the Kali Yuga avatar, the prime avatar incarnation for the age of Kali. Further, he was worshipped as the greatest incarnation of the Lord because he liberally bestowed pure Krishna Bhakti, aesthetic love of God, upon all persons. The Mahamantra, the chant popularized by Sri Chaitanya, is specifically mentioned in the Kalisantarana Upanishad as the exclusive means for escaping the deliberating condition of the Kali age. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. These 16 names, composed of 32 syllables, are the only means to counteract the evil's effect of the Kali Yuga. In all the Vedas, it is seen that to cross the ocean of nations, there is no alternative to the chanting of the holy name. Not only does the holy name bestow the highest benefits upon human being, both individually and collectively, but it purifies even lower species of life. Any living being fortunate enough to hear the divine transcendental sound, incarnation of Lord, receives immense spiritual benefit. Sri Chaitanya did not intend the holy name to remain confined to India, but predicted that the holy name would reach every town and village. 4 centuries later, the missionary ideal, based upon a compelling vision of the universality of the holy name, gained momentum through the efforts of Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, a great follower and the ninth generation disciplic representative of Sri Chaitanya. Writing in his religious journal Sajjana Toshini in 1885, he declared prophetically, Lord Chaitanya did not advance himself to liberate only a few men in India. Rather, his main objective was to eradicate all living entities of all countries throughout the entire universe and preach the eternal religion. There is no doubt that the unquestionable order will come to pass. Very soon, the unparalleled path of Harinam Sankirtan will be propagated all over the world. Oh, for the day when the fortunate English, French, Russian, German, and American people will take up banners, mridangas, kartals, and raise kirtan through their streets and towns. When will that day come? That day will witness the holy name, holy transcendental ecstasy of the Vaishnava Dharma to be the only Dharma. And all the sects and religions will flow like rivers into ocean of Vaishnava Dharma. When will that day come? 80 years later, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, a disciple of Bhakti Vinod Sons Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami, left India and traveled to the United States to transform Bhakti Vinod's dream into reality. In 1966, he founded the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, which, for its active propaganda of the Mahamantra, come to be popularly known as the Hare Krishna movement. The chanting and propagation of the holy name are the stated basis and goal of the movement. The society's founder, Srila Prabhupada, writes, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu introduced the congregational chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra to give everyone a chance to hear Krishna's holy name. For simply by hearing the holy name, one becomes purified. Therefore, our Krishna consciousness movement is chiefly engaged in the chanting the Hare Krishna mantra all over the world. The Krishna consciousness movement, he says, is based on the principle chant the Hare Krishna mantra at every moment as much as possible, both inside and outside of the temple. This movement is specially meant for creating an atmosphere in which people can take to the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. The public chanting of the holy name performed by Srila Prabhupada's follower, clad in traditional Indian dhotis and saris, is now a familiar sight on the streets of the most major cities of the world. The holy name of Krishna, for so long concealed within India, locked away from the Western views, has now entered the mainstream of Western society. It has become, so to speak, a household mantra available to everyone. But Although it is open public view, the holy name is not an ordinary commodity one can find and purchase in the market. It is hidden. It is a hidden treasure. One must develop the eyes to see it, or rather the ears to hear it. If one simply approaches the holy name with reverences and allows the holy name to enter through his ears into the heart, and specifically if he accepts the divine name as his very life and soul, he can enter the deepest, most profound, most sublime of all spiritual mysteries. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Shri Ram Prabhu ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Tomorrow we'll continue from chapter 1.